The topic for today is how to attain inner peace. And if you think about it, the opposite of peace is chaos. And whenever something has a level of chaos to it, it causes a lot of stress. If there's chaos at work, it causes financial stress, causes comfort, and all of that becomes stressful. If you have chaos at home, you have no peace. It becomes really difficult to grow, it becomes difficult to progress in life. So even in the world, everyone is always looking for peace. If you've heard of it, they say peace in the Middle East, because they feel like if there's peace, it will become much better. But the thing is, in life, you always don't have an opportunity that grants you that peace. And in the midst of chaos, finding the peace and creating your own peace is what gives you the edge over someone else. When things don't go your way, what happens is Shaitan capitalizes on that. And then he uses that as the driving engine to take you further away, not realizing that that is the cause for adding more to the chaos. See, the Sahaba would come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and say, Ya Rasulullah, we're doing all of this dua, we're doing all of this, where is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the response himself, saying, let them know that I am near. I'm very close. So imagine if you were to think about it, we are a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many more creations does he have? A lot. Can't quantify them. Every so often you hear something new just emerge out of nowhere. And then you realize how intricate and how detailed and how explicit it is, and you're like, subhanAllah, who knew what else is out there if this existed under our radar for so long? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what he's done is, with all of this, you sometimes think, right, I'm doing this good. I'm asking him this dua. Where is it going? What happens to it? Right? All the good that I do, is it even noticeable? Is it on anyone's radar? To that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, every aspect of your life that you invest in him becomes fruitful for you whether you see it or you don't. Now imagine, one of the ways that we all connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala outside of the obligatory worship, which is salah, is through dua, right? It becomes a little bit more personal. Now, if you know how to do dua in Arabic, it's great. And if you understand the meaning of it and you apply it, it's wonderful. But that is not a requirement of dua, is it? If you don't speak English, you can do dua in Swahili, you can do dua in French, you can do dua in Spanish, you can do dua in Punjabi, you can do dua in Bangla, you can do dua in sign language. You could even do dua silently. You could just think it in your head and that could be dua. There is no definition, nothing restricting what you can potentially do when you're speaking to your Allah. You leave it to your imagination, it's as wild as it can be. And it's very simple. You ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala feels it's good for you and he gives it to you. And then you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this and he's like, you know what, no, I'm going to give you something better than this. Now when you get exactly what you ask for, it's tangible. So you're like, wow, I got it, you're happy, you're great. And then if you were to ask for this and you got something better than this, then what happens? You're like, you're happy, wow, I got something better. But then something else starts happening, and when Islam is no longer tangible, or the efforts you put do not yield tangible results, at that moment you start to question. You're human, right, at the end of the day. We always second guess ourselves. Those of you that know how to drive, do I turn, do I not turn? The whole part of being a good driver is not that you're good, you also are driving for somebody else on the road. You have to be aware and be mindful. So what happens when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this and he doesn't give it to you? See, behind the scenes, what's happening is, imagine If you ask your Allah for iPhone 15, it's a different debate whether you should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for iPhone or an Android. But we'll speak on that at a later note. But now imagine you ask him for iPhone 15 and your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't give it to you. And for a moment you're like, you know what? It would have been nice to have it. Everyone else is getting it. Why am I not getting it? To that now imagine if your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala avoided a calamity that was going to come and affect you much worse than you having this iPhone. God forbid, if you were to be in an accident, we're not even talking about the fault, which leaves you paralyzed for the rest of your life, would you rather have the iPhone 15 or would you rather have a life that you can live when you're not paralyzed? But your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so kareem and so kind, He takes that calamity away from you and you have no idea what He took away, to make sure there's nothing harmful coming your way. So, in all aspects of life, a few things we all can do to ensure that we are always grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is by being thankful to Him. Doing the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly in your mind, in your heart, allows you to reach a level of contentment. And allows you to create that peace in your mind, in your heart, and in your life. I want you to imagine Salah as a form of disconnecting from this dunya. 5 times a day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows it's good for us to disconnect from everybody else and to connect with Him. So now, a man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he asked, can you give me some short and cohesive advice? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam replied, when you stand up to pray, then pray as if you are about to depart from this dunya. It's going to be the last prayer that you have. And never say anything that tomorrow you will have to apologize for. And third, stop desiring what other people have in their possessions. This comes in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad, rahimahullah. These are such succinct and beautiful advices given by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you look at it, you can apply it in all aspects of life. First, when you pray, yes, it is a spiritual journey. It is a spiritual transaction between you and your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you need to have focus in it, right? Which requires you to have your mind and your heart connected in the salah as well. It's just not a one-factor worship. So, it's important as you get your soul focused, you get your mind focused as well. Second, monitors your manners, your akhlaq. You have no idea what you say and the impact of that on someone else's life. You have no idea in here around you who's going through struggles of life and how grave their struggles might be. No idea. But you have no idea also that your smile, which is a hadith of Rasulullah, is sadaqah, right? Free, doesn't cost anything. What if your smile becomes a reason that someone doesn't do something to hurt themselves in any way, which would be detrimental to them or to somebody else? It's just a smile which is free. So your mannerisms go a long way in control your tongue. Temper your anger. And never say or do something that you yourself would regret later on. The best thing is to never have to say sorry. This way, you don't put yourself in that position. And every now and then saying sorry, doesn't matter if you're older or younger, it doesn't take anything from you. It only makes you a better person and a bigger person. And the last is to be content with what you have. Your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has intended exactly what you have. If there's something else was better, He would give it to you. So whenever you look around, it's better if you look up the sky, it doesn't seem like it has a tangible end. But if you look down to the earth, it's something a little bit more reachable. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be content in our minds, in our heart, and in our lives. And may He grant us contentment in our homes. And may He give us peace amongst all the chaos that we live through on a daily basis. and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and our homes, our minds and our hearts. أستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.